Hello friends, it's Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design. Welcome to Throwback Thursday. This is a little weekly series that I do where I reach back into my stash of older product, papers, tools, dies, designs, techniques, and we make something pretty together. Today I have a mystery box from my creative studio. They have been very graciously sending me boxes. This is actually their February subscription box, so it qualifies for Throwback Thursday, and I thought we would open it up together and see what's inside. This is the third box that they've sent me, and I've been having a great deal of fun playing with these. So let's open up and see what we have. I always love the way they package. It's so beautiful. I'm just going to carefully open this because I like to save the tissue paper. There we go. All right, let's see what we have. This is washi tape, always a favorite. And I love the little bags and things that they package in. These boxes are technically designed to be used in like junk journals and things. But I like to make cards, and last time we made a masculine folio together. So look at this. How pretty is that? That's beautiful. All right, so there's that. And this says cling stamp. Oh, it's a beautiful, can you see that? It's a beautiful frame. So pretty to stamp a sentiment or something in that. That's beautiful. Oh, this is 3 cling stamps. Oh, these are all sweet little flowers. Look at that, guys. These are precious. That's beautiful. All right. And then this says Land of All Things. These are little journal cards, looks like. Oh yeah, these are pretty. Look. I think these are, these are acetate die cuts. Look how beautiful. All these pretty purple flowers. Look at that. So acetate die cuts, that's beautiful. Ooh, ephemera. So months of the year. Oh my goodness, look at that little bunny. These sweet little tags. I always look through here and my mind is racing the whole time. What are we going to make? These are more little ephemera cards, tickets. Oh, so pretty. These are beautiful. Love it. This looks like a sweet little bundle of background papers tied with twine. And I love keeping the packaging. I find I can often use it to make a pocket or a flap or a flip. This is beautiful. This is like a library card pocket, and it is just full of ephemera and background panels. These are all botanical. Looks like this is a flower theme. Oh, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Ooh, I love that. Big question is, what should we play with? These beautiful handmade papers. That's really nice. This is a little notepad. It says it's the Bill collection, so I'm guessing this is going to be ledger papers. Oh, yep, there we go. Look at that. Vintage ledger papers. The little stickers, they're like postage stamps, and I like these because they're see-through. So whatever you put them over, you can see what's behind it, which is great for layering. This is masking tape, it says. And then at the Oh, we're still not at the bottom. Look at these beautiful papers. Okay, this is pattern paper, clearly. Oh, these are precious. They have a really, I love the texture of their paper. They always have like a really neat, oh, that's a really pretty one. Here's the vellum. And here's the very bottom. This is, ooh, rub-ons. I love rub-ons. Oh, so pretty. So there's 3 sheets of these rub-ons. All right, well, that is a lot to choose from. I'm going to have to put my brain into gear and figure out what we're making, and I'll be right back and we'll make something beautiful together. All right, so after putting on my thinking cap and looking at these products, I thought, how fun would it be to make a little tag book? So I went into my stash and I pulled out 6 of these Graphic 45 Regular Kraft Tags. These happen to be the laser cut alphas. I have a bunch of these because when I was on their design team, they sent them to me. But you can just use the regular tag, or you can use any tag in your stash. So the first thing I did was I just dry brushed the edges with a little white chalk paint, and then I came in with Seedless Preserves Distress Ink and inked the edges and spritzed it lightly with water. And I did this on both sides of the tag. Then I took a not laser cut tag. I scored it at 2 1/4 inches right here and folded it, painted the edges and inked, and then rounded out the corners. And this is going to be a pocket on top of this alpha tag. I think this is going to be really cool. So if it comes out here the way it's in my head, we're going to have a really neat project. So you want to do 6 that you leave whole, and you want to do 6 that you score at 2 1/4. Then I went into the papers and I used the tag die to cut 6 full sheets of the patterned paper. All right, and I still had a little bit left on the bottom, so I went ahead and cut 6 more, and this is going to be the cover the pocket on each tag. All right, and then I went into and saved these little strips that are left over. You're still going to have little strips left over, and save those. Then I went into the bill collection and I cut 6, die cut 6 of these, and they're a little short, as you can see, but that's where we're going to use these little pieces. We're going to tear the edges and we're going to put these at the bottom. It's going to look really pretty. So let me put some stuff together, and then I know I wanted to show you very quickly how to kind of customize these papers. So I'm going to take my Dusty Concord and I'm going to just put it down on my craft sheet. And I also want Bundled Sage because it kind of goes with the colors in this beautiful collection. And I'm going to put some of that down. And then I'm going to spritz with water until little bead droplets form, ink droplets form. And then I'm going to take this ledger paper and I'm just going to, like, real quick, tap it in, okay? Just like a quick tap. I'm not swiping, I'm just like that. Just a quick tap. Just to add some of our colors in here. I think it's going to be real pretty. And I don't care if it's a lot or a little. I want each one to look different. So I'm just tapping in. Let's come over here and pick some up too. All right, and then hit this with a heat gun to dry it. So pretty. I really like the way this looks. And it just kind of customizes your paper. I've got this stack of my inked up tags. And before I glue them on the back, I'm going to take my rub-ons and I want to add some rub-on accents to these pieces. So I've cut out, and I'll just show you one of these for the sake of time. You just peel this backing piece off, and then find where you want to lay this down and the way you want it to look. Press it down onto your paper, and then you can come in with a popsicle stick or a bone folder, and you literally just rub it on. And it's a really cool look when you're finished. Let's see. And the top of this rub-on sheet has a slightly sticky texture that holds it in place, which is nice. And when you're rubbing it, you can kind of hear it separating. You can kind of hear the image separating from the backer sheet. So I kind of just gently lift. And if it feels like it's sticking, I just, there. Do you hear it separating? Now I know I'm all pressed down. Right here, just a little bit being, there we go. Look how beautiful, see? So you created this beautiful designer paper out of these little tickets. And you can do these, there are 3 wreaths, so that's easy for 3. Actually, there's 4 wreaths. And then you can come in with like the little accent pieces, and you could add, I'll show you, like come in, you do have to cut them out. You can't, if you put the whole sheet down, you're gonna end up with a mess. So cut, you know, whack out around the image that you want to use. So let's say we're going to put this little dragonfly in the center of our wreath. Not yet. Beautiful. See? So there you go. That's how you do these. So I've glued this down on the back of my tag, and then I took a little piece of that extra paper, and I'm going to tear the corner here because I want this to look fairly organic. And I'm just going to tear it here, ink the edges. We're just going to fill in this little gap, and that's how you'll do each of these. So you can use almost all of this pretty patterned paper between covering the tags and filling in the gap on the bottom. Straight is always good. There we go. All right, so there's that. Now I want to show you how to put these little pockets together. And I took one of my full pieces, all right, and I cut it at 3 1/4 inches, and then I used a 1/4 inch corner rounder to round out the edges. And this part is going to glue down inside the pocket like this. Okay. And then this part, which are the little domed pieces that I put my adhesive on. And I'm going to put this piece on the pocket. And this little extra bit, I'm just going to trim, I'll just trim around it with my scissors. It's easier. And then come in. So see, it makes that sweet little pocket. And this you can throw away. Then this part, which is the dome that's left over from cutting that 3 1/4 inch part, Goes right here. Okay, so I'm going to take some 3" by 1" strips of just scrap paper, any old scrap paper, and it doesn't have to be heavy. And you're going to fold these in half, so they're 1/2" by 3". And we're going to make little gussets for the back of our pockets. So I'm lining this up with the edge of my tag. And this, the reason we do this is that it makes it that we can use the entire width of the pocket. And you may want to go, you could even go 2 3/4 and be fine. That's a little long, so I just had to trim it off a little bit. Make sure I'm putting the bottom on the bottom. And you can see I'm just putting the folded edge against the edge of my surface. So now we've got like this little hinge. I call them gussets. And what you're going to do is put adhesive here and glue this down. For our little pocket, I use my tiny attacher tool and just put a little staple on each side, and that's going to be perfectly fine. Now, before I glue over the top of this, I want to make like a little collage up here. So I'm just going to bring in some of my little ephemera bits, and we're just going to put them down. We're just going to play. It's good to play. And I'm going to use my dry clear glue on one of these acetate flowers and layer that in. And I think that's all I want to do there. It doesn't have to be like over the top. All right. Now we can put our adhesive here. And glue our pocket down. This is going to take a minute for that to set, so just give it a little time. Make sure you're lined up. Kind of important. There we go. If you have a 3/8" corner rounding tool, that's the perfect size for the corners on these tags. But I have 1/4 and I have 1/2. So I worked with what I have. All right, so there's our double pocket. And so in this little pocket on the bottom, you can go into this really sweet ephemera and tuck in just some little tags and things. See how cute? And you could put a little gift card in there if you wanted to. Here's a little calendar. Or you could put a little tea bag in here or whatever. And then on the back, I have an idea, but you have to wait for that. So go ahead and get your other 5 of these done. All right, my friends, I love the way these little guys turned out. They are so fun. Here you can see I've stuffed the pockets with ephemera from the box. Just so cute. And my thought for these, because everything is nature themed, you could just write little nature poems or things about flowers on the back or on the front, depending on how it is. And this could become like a beautiful little nature journal. For this top pocket, I created little folios, little mini folios, and these are 5 3/8 by 4 1/4, and I scored them all at 2 looks like 2 5/8. And then I just layered up some stuff. I pulled out some Tim Holtz quote stickers and added them because I wanted it to have words. The larger one is blank. The smaller one, which is 2.5 by 2 5/8, I wrote the words to one of my favorite childhood hymns. I actually still love it today, called This Is My Father's World, because it just goes so well with the nature theme. So I wrote a portion of the hymn in each of these small ones. And then you could use this larger one to just jot down thankful thoughts or prayers or poems or anything that makes you think good thoughts. It's real important to think good thoughts. And then on the back, here's our rub-on, another little quote, all the inking and fun additions. Here's another little pocket that I've just stuffed with good stuff, room to write notes, room to jot down thoughts. If you were giving this as a gift, you could in your own handwriting write things that you love about the person you're giving it to. You could write memories. You could write, I mean, there's no end of ways that you could use this to just really personalize it and make it super special. So here's another one of the larger ones, and here's the smaller one with the rest of that first stanza of the hymn. And if you don't like hymns, choose a poem. I mean, there's all kinds of beautiful things about nature. Another little spot where you could just write a few words. And so each of these is basically the same, right? Just a little bundle of ephemera in the bottom pocket, and then the back pocket has a large folio and a small one. The small folio, I've written the words to that hymn in. Here's our decorations along the top. Here's the back. This is just a beautiful thing to sit down with in your lap and look at. I think beautiful things bring us joy. And I really, my heart is to see art go back to being beautiful, to representing the beautiful and the good. There's so much art that's full of darkness now and like violence and ugliness. I want art to elevate my mind and make me think about good things. So that's kind of how I created this. That's what I had in mind. Like here's a quote from Oscar Wilde. It says, "A flower blossoms for its own joy." Just even little things like that. Something good to look at, something good to think about. So I'll just show you each of these so you can get ideas for how to decorate yours. I love these rub-ons. That was really fun to do. Another little pocket full of stuff. Some of these I put a little strip of washi on. I just kind of let myself go and free create, not worrying about what I was making or anything like that. I just enjoyed the process, and that's a really wonderful thing. Oops, here we go. See how I decorated up there. Two more of these little folios. This one with the next stanza of the hymn. And then on the back, all these pretty flowers and rub-ons and ephemera bits. Another little pocket full of stuff. Layering this is so much fun. I think I showed you kind of how to do that. Another little blank folio, another stanza of the hymn. And there's something really special about sending someone a gift with your own handwriting on it. I have a lot of my mom's old letters and cards that she sent me, and sometimes I just pull them out of the box. I have them all in a box, and sometimes I just pull them out and enjoy them. So the next thing I did was I want side holes. I want this to open like a book. I don't want it to flip. I want it to open like a book. So I just used a punch and kind of put where I wanted my holes. And then I lined each one of these tags up with the original holes so that all the holes are consistent. And then because I used 2 packages of tags, I had 2 binding rings. So look how neat this is. And this just creates the cutest little book, which is lots of fun. And you just run these through the holes. So what are we going to put in the top of each of the tags? Well, I thought it would be really fun to do ribbon through the top of each of the tags. So I'm going to show you with the first one. I'm going to cut about a 9-inch piece of this, I think this is wrinkled ribbon, May Arts wrinkled ribbon. I get it at Really Reasonable Ribbon. Looks like I need to replenish my seam binding, but I'm going to take a bunch of this as well, and I'm going to layer these together. Okay, like this. Fold them in half, and I'm just going to do a very simple loop through ribbon on each of these top openings, like this. And then I created a dangle charm for each one. I have a little Tim Holtz word charm, a little key, and a little butterfly charm. So I put these on one of these vintage pins. Somebody told me these were called dressmaker pins. So that works for me. I have these in my stash. I think I bought them for Really Reasonable Ribbon. They used to carry a bunch of them in their shop, but I think they're discontinued now. But I mean, you can even use a regular safety pin and it would do the same thing. So these are just going to dangle down real sweet like that. And I'm going to do each one like that. And then I brought in a bunch of little flowers, a bunch of little purple flowers. Dump these out, and I'll probably do like a little flower, a little cluster of flowers on each one. I forgot to plug in my glue gun this morning, so I'll have to work on that. And then I thought about adding just a tiny bit of vintage lace to each piece. We'll just see. I mean, the book has to be able to turn. If it's not functional, it's no good. So let me heat up my glue gun and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's how I decided to use the vintage lace. I'm just going to tuck it into our little ribbon cluster up here, which is so pretty. And then on the back side, so that the back side is beautiful too, I'm putting a little hot glue down right here on the ribbon. I'm adding this, forget what those are called. They're like spiral stamens. They're from Really Reasonable Ribbon as well. And then I want a flatter flower in there. And you see I put my lace right on top and it builds our layers. So, but this is flat enough that it'll be okay inside the book. So I'll show you how I added, well, now you know. So just go through, use whatever flowers you have, and add your lace and flowers to the top of each tag. So here we are with all of our ribbons and lace and flowers added, and it got really fat. But I still want to do one more little thing. I've got these beautiful Rene Bouquet's butterflies that I just think add a beautiful finishing touch. So I'm going to take these are, I think, her Dreamer butterflies, but I'm not sure. I'll check in the shop and make sure I link in the description. And then these are her Butterfly Kisses. And these have a purple and black, which is so pretty with this. So I'm just going to scatter a couple of these around just to create a little feeling of movement and add a little more dimension and texture. So let's put one, let me see. Let's put one right on top of this little pull-out piece. And that's probably good for there. I want to try to do something to even these up on the inside. So I think what I might do is go ahead and add a flower cluster on these back tags, because then it's going to sit a little more evenly, which is a nice thing. So I'm going to create some little flower clusters. I'll come back and show you what I'm doing. You can see I'm just adding little butterflies, little flower clusters. Here's another example on the back side of this page. All right, my friends, this ended up being quite the chunky monkey, but it is beautiful. This would be so pretty. The cool thing is it's so chunky that it will stand up. So you could set this out on a bookshelf or a coffee table, a mantle on your office, in your studio, and you could turn the pages each day and see something beautiful to look at. It is, I really like the way this turned out. Yeah, I think I like that. So I'm going to leave it. This did get really chunky, y'all. But that's sometimes the best things are chunky. So anyway, that is it for me, Kathy Clement, Kathy by Design. Again, this is the Your Creative Studio subscription box with a floral theme. And I like it. I'm going to clean up my mess and go get your craft on. Bye.